Really worried about the government trampling on our rights, trying to take away our rights, the right to reproductive health care, the Voting Rights Act being dismantled by SCOTUS, right? These are all real pressing concerns. And I don't think that we were wrong to focus on that, but I think we've been missing the bigger picture, the way that there are more components that function together. And I heard a professor talking about this the other week, and I want to show you just a little bit of the interview with her. And yes, she's at a round table discussion with Mike Pence, but don't let that distract you.
In my sense is that after the Second World War, there was a big emphasis on rights for very good reasons. But we have lost the emphasis on the other side of the coin, which is duties. And not only duties as a burden, but duties as an opportunity.
Yes.
How are you going to contribute to this world? How do you want to change your society around you? How are you going to take control of the bus? Like, my students want to work for Google, and I'm like, no, don't tell me that. Tell me how you're going to build your own company that's going to be much better than Google, because it's going to have better technology that respects democracy. And so one of the things I think we need is to not teach students utilitarianism. And I mean this as a technical term, not in the sense of instrumentalism, but that too. But utilitarianism is the ethical view that what you want to maximize is good consequences. And you make a calculation and you try to come up with good consequences. So very often when I talk about democracy or I talk about privacy, people tell me, but is it worth it? Are we going to win? And this mentality is a recipe for disaster. Sometimes in life, you have to do what's right, whether you win or you lose, because there are battles that need to be fought.
Exactly.
Because the stakes are so high. And you want to be on the right side of history. So I want to incentivize my students to feel not like subjects, but like citizens.
Yes.
And that they need to do the right thing. And they might not control whether their neighbor is going to do the right thing. But if things go wrong, it's not going to be on them.
Yes, I completely agree. And I know my neighbors just started mowing. We're going to roll with it, you guys. There's not just our rights as American citizens, there's also our duty as American citizens. There's our civic responsibility. And I think that education around our civic duty has really been lacking lately. And who benefits from making it so that Americans don't understand the weight of what it means, the responsibility that we have to each other and to keep democracy going? Our investment, our labor, our contribution keeps democracy going. All of this rhetoric, the last, 10 or 15 years on social media, it really took off on Facebook and it spread to all kinds of other platforms. Twitter, definitely, and you see it all of the time on TikTok. It's been going on for many, many years that you don't owe anybody anything. I would argue I think that's been a psyop, you guys. I don't like to call things a psyop lately, but it's, it has that tinge, it has that reek of being a manufactured talking point to get you to wrongly believe that you don't have a duty to your neighbors, to your community, to America, that you don't have a role in defending democracy on a regular basis. It is that perpetuation of American toxic individualism, where you think it's me and mine, right? I only got to look out for me and that's all I have to do. That's not anything even remotely close to the truth. If you only look out for yourself, you are denying the truth that we are all connected. We all live in one society. We have a shared system of governance that relies on participation of the citizenry to not topple into fascism. Those who want authoritarian control, those who've been really, really anxious, right, to empower the oligarchy, have been feeding you this rhetoric for years and years that you don't owe anybody anything. Don't give your labor to this or that. Only do what pleases you, right? You got to treat yourself, girl. It's all about your personal fulfillment. It's girl boss feminism, right? Who's benefited from all of that? Nobody but the oligarchy and the fascists. Because if you understand your solemn duty to defend democracy, to participate in democracy, if you understand that our society doesn't work unless the people are involved, then all of this power that you are refusing to exercise and your neighbor is refusing to exercise other folks will come and they will wield that power irresponsibly, right? Claim that they're wielding it on your behalf. Like this is why we don't really have representation in government. This is why our Congress is so captured by a foreign government, by super PACs, and by the oligarchy, by corporations, by the billionaires. Like overwhelmingly, our members of Congress work for big corporations. They work for Elon Musk and Peter Thiel. They work for Israel. They don't work for the American people at all. We don't have representation because we didn't fight to get it. We didn't work to elect people who would work for us. And all of those power players who wanted to be able to control the levers of government, who wanted to have their boys in the House and the Senate, they've succeeded into lulling so many Americans into this false belief that we don't owe anybody anything, that we don't have to exert ourselves, expend our energy and our time participating in democracy. Democracy requires participation. This very much folds into my permaculture understanding of basically everything, right? And I know that I frequently talk up this very skinny book by Robin Wall Kimmerer called The Serviceberry. But in that book, she talks about the indigenous understanding of reciprocity, that you take from nature, but you are obligated to then reinvest in her, right? And in permaculture, we talk about cycling of everything, right? We want a closed system where we're cycling nutrients and energy, that if we want to obtain a yield, we must first invest in the system in order to get something out of it. And then we reinvest all of our excess, all of our labor, all of our waste resources, everything back into the system so that it is self-cycling. We can't just extract and extract and extract. This is why I say that permaculture is absolutely antithetical to capitalism, because capitalism is built on extraction. It's built on line goes up. It's built on, ever expanding quantities of profit that are sucked out of a system without giving anything back. And because we live in a capitalist system, because we live in a system that wants you to think that you don't owe anybody anything, we've failed to understand that the reality that keeps the system going, that benefits all of us, that keeps everything functional is reciprocity, is our duty to invest back, right? It's not just about me. It's about what can I get from the system in terms of the system nourishing me and providing for my needs, and then how can I reinvest back into it so that the system can continue to function, right? Reciprocity. We take and we give. We take and we give. This is an indigenous understanding of like the truth of nature, the truth of the way things function. And Americans are largely not operating out of the truth. We're operating out of the rhetoric, out of the psyop or whatever propaganda that says only worry about what you can get, only think about accumulation for yourself, right? Democracy will just function if you show up and vote once in a while. Like we have really low turnout in local elections because those don't matter as much, and like you just got to show up in the general every 4 years, or like maybe you show up and vote every 2 years for members of Congress, what have you. No, hyper-local politics is the most important. Voting in local elections is the most, running for office in local positions is the most important, right? Getting involved in the places that the system has said, like, don't worry about that. Just let those people who are going to work for their own self-interest and are going to work for big business, just let them take over your school board. Let those ideologues who work for Project 2025 and the Christo-fascists, let them take over your city council. Let them sell out your whole community to data centers. Don't worry about that, because you know what? You don't have a duty to participate in democracy. Just let us go ahead and take over. Like this is what's been going on, and it's time for us to recapture not just our government, but in order to do that, to understand and recapture our sense of duty to participate in democracy. And I guess I want to leave it here. I'm not here to scold all of us. Like this is an opportunity, right? I'm gonna quote my favorite line from Gungor once again. Is it a loss or is it a chance, right? We have been losing out on our privilege, our duty to participate in democracy, and now we have a chance to get back in the game, right? This is why I ran for the lowest level elected position in my county, which is a precinct committee person, right? Like we all can give something back. We all can contribute to making the system work again. We can recapture the system from corporations, from the billionaires, from those who would seek to dismantle democracy. And we're seeing more and more people understand that the place where we have the most ability to do the most good, to take back our democracy for us, the people, to make amends for all of the ways that we have not carried out our civic duty is in local government. right? Whether or not you are at this moment in time able to run for local office, like please do if you're able. Please volunteer or sign up to be a poll worker, right? Work for your local elections office. Any way that you can get involved and give of yourself, that's necessary. That sacrifice is necessary right now. It is a good and worthy sacrifice, and it is time well spent. Like, maybe we don't even have to view it as a sacrifice. It's a chance to be able to express our agency and to take ownership once again, right? We control democracy if we choose to. We have always had that power. So I'm so encouraged to see folks who are either choosing to run for local office or are choosing to do their best to become informed about who has been voted in their city council, right? Who is their mayor actually working for, to get informed and to get involved, to either pressure those in local office, to flex your muscle as the electorate, or to run for office yourself.
Mrs. Space, why did you and your husband have those bones of 3 enslaved black men in your commercial zoo for 30 years? That's okay, you don't have to answer, it's no problem. The silence is telling enough. Chris Carney, in 2021, you started a text group chat with Jody Fernandez and Frankfurt Mayor saying, quote, and I hope I do better than tap into, because I know you like being quoted. This bitch doesn't know what she is in for. Do you threaten all people or only women? No, just ignore the question mark then if you don't want to answer, like I said. Jack DeGroot, you are staunchly pro-life. How do you feel about our first target in Iran being 170 girls in a school? Is bombing children pro-life? Conveniently, you focus on things that serve your bias. I think it's hateful to falsely stereotype an entire demographic of people as violent killers and predators without any statistical data to support it. I think it's hateful to send untrained, armed, violent men to abduct them off the street and lock them in for-profit labor camps until they self-deport or die of medical neglect. And I think it's egregiously hateful to vote for those trigger-happy armed men to be allowed in your schools. This is how your Nazi and KKK camp and rallies from 80 years ago are manifesting today. Like they said, it never went away. You just took the hoods off.
A lot of us are really worried about the government trying to trample on our rights. Right, this is just one way that we can speak truth to power and attempt to reclaim some of our responsibility to participate in democracy. But what else? What else does that look like? What are the other ways that we can choose to understand the truth that we have to give back, to understand the truth that it is a privilege, it's an honor to be able to use our resources and our time at this period in our history to defend democracy and recover it? Like, gosh, you guys, such good work, such important work. So what else do those actions look like? What does it mean to live in a society where we understand that in order to have rights, we have a duty to defend them?